guys and good day. We are here to make a vlog on what is an educated Filipino by Mr. Benitez. Given by our teacher Annabeth Gosio. Stop. One. So hello again guys. I am here to tell you the first question that was asked from Mr. Benitez. So this is the question. Great changes have taken place in the nature of our social life during the last 20 years. So his answer to that question was, the contact with Americans and their civilizations has modified many of our old social customs, traditions, and practices. Some for the worse and many for the better. The means of communication have improved, and therefore better understanding exists among the different sections in our country. Religious freedom has developed religious tolerance in our people. The growth of the public schools and the establishment of democratic institutions have developed our national consciousness both in strength and social.
Hi, I am GKP Banyas, and this is the second question of what is an educated Filipino. Okay, this is the question. With this growth of national consciousness and national spirit among our, this is the answer from what is an educated Filipino by Mr. Francisco Benitez. So this is the answer. We witness the corresponding rise of a new conception of education, the training of the individual for the duties and privileges of a citizen, not only for his own happiness and efficiency, but for national service and welfare as well. In the old days, education was a matter of private concern. Now it is public function, and the state not only has the duty both as the right as well to educate every member of the community, as well as the young women as well as men, not only for the good of the individual but also for the self-preservation and self-protection of the state itself. Our modern public school system has been established as a safeguard against the shortcomings and dangers of a democratic government and democratic institution.
And the third question of what is an educated Filipino by Francisco Benitez. In the light of social changes, we come to the question. What qualities should be distinguish the educated Filipino of today? I venture to suggest that educated Filipino should first be distinguished by the power to do. The Oriental excels in reflective thinking. He is a philosopher. The Occidental is the doer. He manages things, men, and affairs. The Filipino of today needs more of these powers to translate reflection into action. I believe that we are coming more and more to the conviction that no Filipino has the right to be considered educated unless he is prepared to take an active and useful part in the work, life, and progress of our country as well as in the progress of our world.
Rose G. Coyos, and we come to the question number 4 for what is an educated Filipino? The power to do embraces the ability to produce enough to support oneself and contribute the economic development of the Philippines. Undoubtedly, a man may be, and often is, an efficient producer of economic goods, and at the same time, he may not be educated. But should we consider a man who is utterly unable to support himself and is an economic burden to the society in which he lives, educatedly merely because he possesses the superficial graces of culture? I hope that no one will understand me as saying that only sign of economic efficiency is the ability to produce material goods. For useful social participation may take the form of any of the valuable services rendered to society through such institutions as the homes, the school, the church, and the government. The mother, for example, who prepares wholesome meals, takes good care of her children, and trains them in moral and right conduct at home. She renders efficient service to the country as well as does the statement of the captain of industry. I would not make the power to do the final and the only task of the educated Filipino, but I believe that in our present situation, it, it is the fundamental and basic.
Hello, I am Sarudin A. Krami and confidentially handsome by the heart. In the number 5, educated Filipino in the short in the making by this writer, the educational Filipino is in the second place, motivated by his knowledge of the past and the current event in the world progress, but it's also especially by his knowledge by this race, his people, and his country, and his love of the truth and idea to the people learn to cherish. Our character, our culture, and our natural history are the core of the national life and consequently of our education will not have the educational Filipino ignore the culture and the history of our land. But can he afford to be an ignorant of the history and the culture of his own country and yet for culture and education? So, in very better to say this, if you have love to your country and his um, history of and the culture of being a Filipino, is it called by educational Filipino? Okay, so it better be so lucky. And thank you, and I'm confidently handsome.
So the sixth question of the what is educated Filipino is the educated Filipino. The answer of Francisco Benitez is in third place must have ingrained ingrained in his speech and conduct those elements that are everywhere recognized as accompaniments of culture and morality, so that possessing the capacity of self-entertainment and study, he may not beat the mercy of the pleasure of the senses or a burden to himself when alone.
So here we go to the seventh question. There are then at least three characteristics which I believe to be the evidence of the educated Filipino. The first one, the power to do, to support himself and contribute to the wealth of our people. Number two, acquaintance with the world's progress, especially with that of his race, people, and community, together with the love of our best ideals and tradition. And number three, refined manners and moral conduct as well as the power of growth.
Wow. So thank you guys. That is What is an Educated Filipino by Francisco Benitez. And this is Group 3 signing out.